Welcome to this Miles by Foot tour of Norfolk International Airport, code ORF. ORF is the third busiest airport in Virginia, behind Dulles and Reagan International that serve Washington, D.C., and it's the largest airport, categorized as small by the FAA at 65th busiest in the nation. Located 5 miles northeast of Norfolk City Center, ORF serves the largest urban metro completely within Virginia, including Virginia Beach, Suffolk, and Newport News, which has its own small regional airport. Norfolk's famous for its enormous harbor and port, as well as the presence of the United States Navy at Naval Station Norfolk, the largest naval base in the world. That military connection is clear and bright even at the airport, and both service members and defense contractors travel frequently through ORF. The biggest draw for me, though, is ORF's older school aesthetics and architecture, helping ORF to accomplish its utilitarian mission in style, whether you've got orders to be here or not. If you like content like this about airports and aviation, make sure to like and subscribe to stay connected with our community. Now let's explore. ORF serves 8 airlines, including the big 3, Southwest, and 4 low-cost carriers. The landside building has 2 main entrances, one on either side of the square terminal. The south side drop-off point has departure kiosks for United, American, Breeze, Frontier, and Allegiant, and the north drop-off point serves Delta, Spirit, and Southwest. Once you've checked in for any airline, you'll go upstairs to the Garden Plaza, ORF's landside atrium. Here you can access both airside terminals and arrivals, including car rentals, ground transportation, and baggage. The Garden Plaza is the most recognizable place at ORF, and its open design makes for a relaxing and welcoming experience day or night. The plaza contains 3 restaurants, including local fare, as well as a newsstand, a travel shop, a business lounge, and art displays. Or you can just sit here, relax, and people watch. ORF has 2 airside concourses, A and B. These concourses are separated, so when you clear security, you'll only have access to one or the other. Concourse A currently serves flights for American, Allegiant, and Southwest. American has the most flights at ORF, averaging around 25 a day, the majority of which are nearby short-haul hops, including Charlotte, Philadelphia, and Reagan National, together making up 2/3 of their weekly departures. They also serve Dallas-Fort Worth, JFK and LaGuardia in New York, and a daily flight each to Miami and Chicago O'Hare. Reagan National is ORF's closest destination for any airline at just 142 miles away, about 35 minutes takeoff to landing, or a little over 3 hours by car. On the other end, Allegiant only offers a few weekly flights as of May 2024, split evenly between Fort Lauderdale and Orlando Sanford, but Allegiant's schedule changes frequently and seasonally. Southwest is 4th for departures, serving 4 cities, most of all Baltimore, another short flight to a major hub. They also serve Chicago Midway, Nashville, and Orlando at least once daily. Sadly, I didn't get to visit Concourse A this time, as both my flights were in and out of Concourse B. Concourse B is the larger and more extensive airside terminal, and you'll go here for flights on Delta, United, Frontier, Spirit, and Breeze Airways, who operate a base here. Delta's presence is about as substantial as American's at ORF. While they have fewer flights, about 16 a day, they're larger planes that carry more people, flying to destinations like Atlanta, which alone makes up nearly half of Delta's daily traffic. They also connect to their hubs in Detroit, LaGuardia, and JFK twice a day, and once a day to Boston and Minneapolis. United's 3rd for departures, flying 4 times a day to Dulles outside Washington, D.C., 3 times daily to Newark, twice daily to Chicago O'Hare, and once daily to Denver. Low-cost carriers Spirit and Frontier maintain near daily service, with Spirit serving Fort Lauderdale and Orlando daily, and Boston every day but Tuesdays, and Frontier serving Atlanta, Denver, and Orlando, each on every day but Saturday. They also connect to Philadelphia 3 times weekly, and starting in June, they'll start ORF's only flight outside the lower 48, with a near-daily service to San Juan, Puerto Rico. Breeze Airways, a relative newcomer to the low-cost carrier scene, operates a base from Norfolk to 9 direct destinations, the most of any airline at the airport, though some have an intermediate stop. Breeze serves Hartford, Connecticut, Providence, Rhode Island, and Tampa daily, and Charleston, South Carolina, Jacksonville, Las Vegas, Long Island Islip, New Orleans, and San Diego each several times a week. I arrived on Breeze for this tour, so check out my video connecting here from New Orleans via Jacksonville. When you arrive at ORF, you'll leave either concourse, ending up in the Garden Plaza. Straight ahead, if you leave Concourse B, or to the right, if you leave Concourse A, you'll see an elevated walkway that carries you to the arrival buildings, home to rental cars, baggage claim, ground transportation, and the airport's 9-story parking garage. For service members looking for the USO Lounge, the lounge is straight ahead and to the right as you cross into the arrivals building on the upper level. You can't miss it. Rental counters are downstairs and to the right, and baggage claims are down and to the left. Directly outside the baggage claims, you can get a taxi or a rideshare easily, as I did myself this time. Baggage offices are to the right of the baggage claims as you walk down the row of claims. If you're visiting ORF and you want a plane spot, there's 2 promising options. Plane spotters will find Concourse B to be the best place airside to catch the action. From there you can see both sides of B as well as A across the apron. The far end of Concourse B has a modest view of the runway, but for a bird's eye view, you can go to the top of the airport's very tall parking garage. While it may seem unimportant at first, the visual vibe of ORF is what drew me here. When I started traveling as a kid in the 90s, lots of airports had this aesthetic. Lots of natural light, color, and eye-catching geometry left an impression on me. Simply put, traveling meant seeing new shapes, new designs, and new ways to see things. Like other airports, ORF is looking to modernize aspects of its design and its passenger experience, and honestly, that's great. Things do often get better when giving passengers more options or making the travel experience more accessible. But the millennial in me will miss that old look. When I was here, a curious young employee walked up to me while I was filming and asked what I was doing. I told him that Norfolk's airport still has a lot of the old architecture that made airports and other public buildings like malls and libraries dynamic and interesting to look at. I'd say he was 20 at the most, and he seemed surprised that not all airports looked like this. I got to share a bit of my experience traveling over the years, and it was delightful to see someone else appreciate the classic look that ORF still displays. Norfolk's airport is unique both in its appearance and its design, and it's great to see them support an up-and-coming airline. Smaller airports are growing again as passengers return to travel, and it's always a treat to see an airport that surpasses both aesthetic and functional expectations. I know airports won't look like this forever, but I'm glad I dropped in now to see a great airport that still looks like how I remembered from years gone by. If you like this video, please consider subscribing and commenting below. I do a lot of my own independent research for these videos, and I'm anxious to share that knowledge if you have questions about your travel through ORF or any of the airports I visited. Come back next time for a short walk with a better look at the airside and landside terminals. Then it's off to the next airport. Until then, thanks for watching, and keep moving forward.